excited to see what the presentation will be on Netflix. What we all know they're not gonna show titties. It's not gonna be the Attitude Era. But I'm excited to see now that they don't have to answer the cable rules. What changes with the presentation? Or what? How much more freedom do they choose to use at the right times? Of course, and I was reading something the other day from I wish I remembered the source, but it was a fairly respectable source in pro wrestling. But word on the streets is Nick Khan and Hunter has said now going into Netflix. Well, they've been working like this, but now more than ever going to Netflix, it's gonna be look. We're gonna give you a direction with the script, but if you wanna go with your gut to feel out the crowd, you're allowed to go with your gut to make it more authentic. And word on the streets is CM Punk and Seth Rollins didn't have a script at all Monday. So they just went off their gut to sell the match. So if we see more of that, I think we're in store for a lot better television. Because if they didn't, first of all, Seth and CM Punk don't need too much heavy lifting with guiding them. But the fact that they did all of that without nobody in their way, it just shows you the greats don't need too much in their way.
Absolutely. Here's the thing with that though, Dave. That's a double-edged sword, right? Because we already know the greats like Punk, Rollins, Roman, Cody, Owens. They can easily blow your socks off whether you're guiding them, whether you're not guiding them.
Yeah.
That's just who they are, what they do. But what I really want to see, David, is these role players. Are y'all gonna step it up?
Are you talking like Dominic, Chad Gable?
Chad Gable, yes.
And I think he's in for a big 2025 too. Chad Gable.
Yeah.
He's a very underrated performer. So you talking about those types?
Yeah, Big Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
Braun Strowman.
Okay.
Those type of people. I want to see, are y'all gonna really step up? Because that's the thing, David. The only way to really capture that attitude feel for real, the attitude ever feel, the only way to really capture it is everybody has to be kind of doing key things.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what happened back then. Even the Val Venuses, they were doing key things.
What key thing was he doing?
Absolutely, David. As soon as that
music his PP cut,
David, and that was one of the craziest segments of all time. All time. Who would ever thought someone would get their dick cut in wrestling?
Yeah.
Dave. Come on.
I'll never forget that shit.
Come on, nobody ever will though. Nobody ever will.
It's memorable,
and he's a role player.
Yeah.
That goes to my point. As soon as his music hit, hello, ladies. You know what I'm saying? Like you knew you was about to hear something you wasn't supposed to be hearing.
Yeah.
Godfather. Like people, APA. It's the role players, the tag teams. I want to see something from y'all.
Okay.
Because for the most part, I'm not really mad at the main eventers the last couple years.
Nah, you can't be, yo. They've made fresh ones, and the new ones just keep giving us more and more.
I'm not mad at them. I'm gonna be honest. For the first time in a long time, I'm not mad at really any main eventer. No, I don't have any gripe with any main eventer. It's the tag team division. It's the women division. It's the role players.
Nah, I agree with your overall point, especially with the tag division. I agree with your overall point, but I think we have reasons to be optimistic. The New Day story, wherever that's gonna take us, man, I think they're gonna wake this tag division up, man, as heels now, and wherever this goes. Motor City Machine Guns, so far so good. I
Hmm.
think they could still elevate. I think they'll elevate teams as we progress, but Triple H just really needs to. I think the big problem with tag team wrestling right now is when's the last time we've got a heated tag team rivalry that
Exactly.
they put an energy into? You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like we back in the day, we had Dudley's Edge, Christian Hardy's, and you can mix them up.
Hmm.
The last great tag division run, we had New Day and the Usos, New Day versus Sheamus and Cesaro. Like we had rivalries. Well, the Wyatt family versus New Day, like that. We haven't had like a real built up rivalry, and hopefully we tap into that. I think the tag division could use that work a lot.
Hmm.
But the women's division, I think their problem has only been too many new faces at once, and not enough veterans have been healthy. Hopefully that changes a little bit with people coming back. The mid card, I, I'm torn because I feel like in a lot of ways the mid card has improved. Like, because if you look back in like 2018, 2017, nobody cared about who won as much to who was IC champ or US champ. But
Hmm.
now we had LA Knight, hell of a US champ. We had Logan Paul, hell of a US champ. We had Gunther, IC champ, the record breaking.
Yes.
You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? I don't think the mid card has been totally out of place. I don't think it's been totally bad, but I do agree with your overall point that we need more from the overall mid carders. Bronson Reed before he got injured, he was on his path to destruction to come up. So I don't think Braun Breaker's doing great with the IC belt. I don't think they've been neglecting the mid card as hard.
Well, David, there you go. You just kind of solve your own thing though, because the same thing you said about the tag team division, you could say the same exact thing about the middle card. What happened to the great rivalries of the middle card?
I
Like
think we've had some pretty solid ones.
pretty solid matchups. I wouldn't say programs.
Yeah, that's because there's been a lot of one offs,
One
but
off. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. Pretty solid matchups. Solid average grade on the matchups. Solid average grade
Breaker
on
and Sheamus. I,
that. That
I
right
wouldn't
there
I
was a
wouldn't
good one.
call it I wouldn't call it a full on rivalry, but they're getting there.
But like in totality, like when you see, let's say you see something like a Razor Sean,
Yeah, 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 yeah. I feel you.
you don't get it no more.
It's been a while. Yeah,
Eddie Guerrero Chavo, Eddie Guerrero Rey Mysterio,
yeah.
something like that. You don't
But
get
those
those no
dudes
more.
were main eventers, dog.
They weren't
Rey
main eventers at
Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, at least.
no, they weren't main eventers at the time.
Yeah, they were, bro.
No, they wasn't.
Bro,
At that time, when they were fighting for the middle card, they wasn't main eventers.
but Eddie was like a year or two removed from his championship,
No,
and
this is before Dave.
oh, you talking about before? Okay,
I'm
okay.
talking about
They
before.
they've beefed so many different eras of their career. That
No, I'm talking
I
about
thought you was
before.
talking about oh
I'm
five.
talking about no, I'm talking about before oh 03, oh
Oh,
04,
okay,
oh
okay. I,
05.
I feel you.
When they were battling as for
Okay,
the
okay.
European Championship and United
Nah, I
States
feel
Championship.
you.
Like that was those were crazy. We used to get crazy heated battles constantly from the middle card.
Yeah, yeah,
And we don't really get that anymore because what they either do is they grab somebody real quickly and move them right up, or they just give us a splash sample size or something and take it right away.
yeah.
So it seems like they only want things to drag out when it's the main event.
No, that I hear what you mean by that. Like it seems like they don't add multiple layers and pieces to the story unless it's the main event.
Unless it's the main event.
Like they
Those
look
are the
at
only
look how
guys who
many
could have the
pieces they've
privilege.
added to KO Cody and the
Right.
bloodline and all that shit. Drew
Like those are,
McIntyre Punk.
it seems like those are the only guys who could have back to backs or trilogies.
Yeah. Nah, I feel
Make it
that.
extra heated.
That's fair. But the talent's there. I just need them to start making the rivalries. The mid
The
card
story,
talent's there.
the story. I'm aiming more at the
Yeah, they need
story,
to give them more investment in story. Yeah.
character work.
Yeah.
If I can get something like that, where we can get back to having strong characters in the middle card, because like going back to what I said, that's what really made the Attitude Era. Even the lower guys had strong character that you were actually willing to vibe with.
That's fair. Yeah. They had a character that you could identify them. You could turn on your TV and identify
Road Dogg and Billy
the guy
Gunn,
in the pimp hat. The pimp is Godfather. The guy
right?
in the towel that's being sexual is Val Venus. They were identifiable. I think that was their strength.
Right. Road Dogg, Billy Gunn. With the freaking Edge and Christian, even the tag team guys. They were willing to add something to the pot, add something to the mix. I need to see everybody add something to the mix. Then we can really boost to that feel like we once had. And it doesn't need to have the cursing like
I
everybody
don't think
online
so.
is saying.
Yeah.
Like everybody online is saying.
I honestly
It
think
doesn't need to have blood every
I
Monday.
honestly think WWE found their groove, knowing when to curse and when to bleed. I
Yeah.
honestly think they found their groove in this
It
latest.
doesn't need to have that.
Yeah,
That's what people don't understand. Like they
because
don't need
if that's what made great television, AEW would be blowing WWE out the water.
exactly.
But that's what I
Exactly.
think people miss out. Like
Like exactly.
the Attitude Era
You guys
was great because everybody had story and they had competition to keep them greater and more creative. It wasn't because of titties. It wasn't because of ass. It
but that's
wasn't.
what
It
that's
wasn't because of beer. You know.
and that's what I was just about to say, Dave, because it's like if I'm already winning, why do I have to go all out like that already?
Yeah, yeah,
That's what people don't understand. They only did that every week because they were losing.
yeah. And we've never seen it at the time in wrestling before. We've never
Losing.
seen that.
Like losing. Like they didn't sit well with losing, so they pulled out all the clips.
Yeah.
They emptied the whole gun out,
Any
David.
means necessary.
Any means necessary. But we don't gotta be any means necessary no more. We at top. We at the top.
Yeah.
We at the top. We just need we all they really need to do is just not lose everybody. And
Yeah.
the best way to not lose everybody is okay, let's get back to the strong characters in every division. Not just your up top, everybody.
That's fair. My last bold prediction. Well, I said it previously, but I don't think it's too bold. But we'll see Big E. I think we'll see Big E wrestle in some way. I have
That's
a
a good
funny
one.
feeling.
That's a good one.
I have
That's
a
a good
funny
one.
feeling, and like this New Day story, I'm excited to see where it takes off.